Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked away from a conversation with a woman feeling more confused than when it started? You replay the scene in your mind a dozen times. She laughed, she smiled, she touched your arm, but then you hear that voice in your head, that ghost of doubt that whispers, "She's just like that with everyone." So you do nothing. You let the moment pass, and a week later you see her with someone else, someone who seemed to know something you didn't. That feeling of missed opportunity is one of the most painful things a man can experience. It's a quiet regret that tells you that you failed a test you didn't even know you were taking. What if I told you that the test was real, but the study guide you've been given is all wrong? The world tells you to look for fireworks for the grand, unmistakable gestures that scream, "I'm interested," but a woman's genuine interest, the kind that's real and deep-seated, is rarely a wildfire. It's a quiet, steady flame. It's found in the moments you dismiss, the greetings you overlook as just her being friendly. The Stoics, masters of human nature like the Emperor Marcus Aurelius, taught us to observe reality as it is, not as our fears or fantasies paint it. They knew that real power lies in understanding the subtle currents of human nature. In the next few minutes, we're going to decode 4 of these subtle greetings. And I promise you, you will never see her hello the same way again. We've all been there. You're talking to a woman, the vibe feels right, but you walk away with a head full of question marks and a gut full of indecision. Does she like me? Was that a signal? This uncertainty is a poison. It drains your masculine energy, it erodes your confidence, and it leaves you paralyzed, afraid to make a move because you're terrified of misreading the situation. The problem isn't you and it isn't her. The problem is that you are tuned into the wrong frequency. You're scanning for the loud, high-frequency noise of obvious compliments and overt flirting, but the signal of genuine attraction is often quiet, deep, and steady. It's a low-frequency signal that requires you to be calm, present, and attuned to even notice. This isn't a game. It's a test of perception. Female communication, especially in the realm of attraction, is rooted in the deep soil of evolutionary biology. It often relies on plausible deniability, a subconscious strategy to see who has the attunement to understand the unspoken. She is putting out a signal to see if you are the kind of man who is sharp enough and grounded enough to pick up on what she's communicating without her having to risk social rejection by spelling it out for you. The man who needs it spelled out in big, bold letters is often the very man who gets disqualified. The man who can read the subtext, however, demonstrates a level of social and emotional intelligence that is powerfully and fundamentally attractive. So let's begin with the first, and one of the most potent signals you're probably missing, the interrupted hello. Picture this scene. A woman is walking with her friend, deep in conversation, laughing about something. Or maybe she's across the room, headphones in, focused, scrolling on her phone, completely absorbed in her digital world. As you approach, she physically stops what she is doing. She breaks her engagement with her friend, she lowers her phone, she turns her body towards you, and her focus shifts entirely to you just to say hi. This isn't just politeness, my friend. This is a pattern interrupt. In a world of infinite distractions, her brain has registered you as a significant event in her immediate environment, an event important enough to halt her current task and reorient her entire focus. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught us to distinguish between what we can control and what we can't. You can't control her initial programming, but you can control your observation of it. See this for what it is: a pure, unfiltered data point. It's not a story you tell yourself. It's an action you have observed. She prioritized your presence over her previous focus. Your job is not to question it, but to simply acknowledge it, meet her energy, and understand that in that moment, you became her focal point. Next, you must learn to listen not just to her words, but to the music behind them. This brings us to our second signal, the softened voice greeting. A man's presence can make a woman feel guarded, or it can make her feel safe, and her voice will betray which one it is. You'll be in a group, or she'll be talking to someone else, and her voice will be at a normal social volume and pitch. Then she turns to you, and when she says your name or a simple hello, her tone noticeably shifts. It softens. The pitch may drop slightly, the cadence slows, and the sound becomes less projected and more intimate. as if it's meant only for you. This is an unconscious physiological response. It's her parasympathetic nervous system kicking in, a sign of her body moving from a state of social alertness to a state of calm and relaxation. In a world where she is constantly and rightly vigilant, her vocal cords are literally relaxing in your presence. It's an unguarded moment, a brief window into her internal state that she isn't consciously controlling, and it's a powerful auditory signal that you have entered her personal space, and she is welcoming you into it. The third greeting is a beautiful, fleeting piece of nonverbal theater, and it's called the double-take greeting. This happens in a split second, so you have to be present and observant to catch it. You enter her line of sight, perhaps walking into a room or turning a corner, and there's an initial, almost involuntary micro-acknowledgement. It could be a slight widening of the eyes, a tiny lift of the chin, a small unconscious smile that flashes and disappears. This is her primal brain recognizing something, or someone, it finds appealing. Then she might look away for a brief moment, almost as if to process what just happened or to regain her social composure. But then comes the most crucial part. She intentionally looks back at you, this time with a more deliberate, conscious smile and a more direct hello. That double take is everything. The first look was her subconscious saying, "My system likes that." The second look was her conscious mind saying, "Yes, I want to engage with him." In that single moment, she is showing you her cards. She's revealing both an involuntary pull towards you and a conscious decision to act on that pull. Finally, we have the signal that surgically separates you from every other man in the room, the personalized hello. It's incredibly simple, yet it carries immense weight. This is when she greets you by using your name when she doesn't have to, especially in a casual public setting. A simple hey is for anyone. A hey, David, is specifically for you. It proves that your name occupies a space in her mind. It has been cataloged and is easily accessible. It's a small investment of memory and effort, but it signals that you aren't just a generic face in the crowd. You are a specific, noteworthy individual to her. This signal becomes exponentially more powerful when she pairs your name with a personal detail from a previous conversation. "Hey, David! How did that big presentation go last week?" That simple question reveals that not only does she remember you, she remembers your life. She was actually listening. She stored that information, and she retrieved it. This isn't just good social skills. It is a clear and powerful investment of mental and emotional energy. It's her way of subconsciously saying, "I think about you, even when you're not around." Now, we need to zoom out. Because if you think this is just about memorizing 4 greetings to get a date, you've missed the entire point. This isn't about tactics. This is about a fundamental, irreversible shift in your perception. It's about tuning your mind to a different frequency that allows you to see the world as it truly is. The world and the people in it are constantly communicating with you, offering feedback, showing you the path. But most men walk around in a dense fog of their own anxieties, their own needs, their own distorted expectations, unable to see what's right there in front of them. The Stoic man, the truly grounded man, is a master observer first and an actor second. He doesn't guess, he doesn't hope, he doesn't project. He knows because he pays attention. The Roman philosopher Seneca wisely said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. We waste it on doubt, on hesitation, on replaying scenarios in our heads." When you learn to read these subtle signals, you're not just learning about women. You're learning to read reality itself. You stop chasing and you start attracting, because you begin to move with the quiet, unshakable confidence that comes only from seeing the world clearly. So here is your mission, should you choose to accept it. This isn't just advice. This is a direct challenge to you. For the next 7 days, your only job is to become an observer, a social scientist in the field. When a woman greets you, any woman, a colleague, a barista, the woman you're interested in, your first instinct will be to jump to, "What should I say next? How do I keep this going?" I want you to resist that urge. Instead, just for a second, silently ask yourself, what kind of greeting was that? Just notice. That's it. Was it a pattern interrupt? Did her voice soften? Did she use your name? Your goal for this week is not to get a date. Your goal is to collect data. You are building the muscle of perception, a muscle that has been allowed to atrophy. You must remove the pressure to perform and simply allow yourself to see. This is the first, most critical step to moving through the world with the calm power of a man who truly understands it. Remember, the world reflects back to you the man you are. If you are anxious, needy, and lost in your own head, you will see a world that is confusing and rejecting. But if you cultivate a mind that is perceptive, calm, and grounded, you will begin to see the signs of interest, respect, and attraction that have been there all along. It all starts with paying attention. Stop listening to the noise of your own insecurities and start observing the truth of your reality. Be the man who doesn't need the fireworks because he can see the steady flame. If you got value from this and are committed to this path of self-mastery, subscribe and join our community. And let us all know in the comments. What's one subtle signal you've started to notice now that you know what to look for? Your insight could be the epiphany someone else needs. Stay strong and observe well.